Hello everybody. So today I would like to take you around my garden here to show you what shrubs are still doing so good even in the heat of the summer. Thank goodness it is the end of August right now, and I know that all the plants are rejoicing. Cooler weather is coming. So the last several days we had been getting really hot, stagnant weather, like the air would be very stagnant. Prior to that, it was a lot cooler, so feeling like fall. So now we're actually going to be going into fall weather again in the 80s. So hopefully it's going to keep staying around that cooler temperatures. Otherwise, it could be going up again. But regardless, thank goodness it is the end of August. So September is coming around, and hopefully we'll be getting cooler temperatures on a consistent basis. So let's do an overview of the front border here and let you know what the growing condition is like here. So we have clay soil, we get humidity, we get temperatures in the 90s in the summer, but because of the humidity, the days would be a lot warmer. And then also, usually we get regular rainfall, but this year has been different since the 5 years that I've been gardening here that I've noticed. This year we've gone through periods of drought and periods of rain, so it's been different. So the plants would be happy, and then they would be, struggling, would be in a stressful situation. So that's where we're at. So we, like I mentioned, for the last several days we had really dry, no rain, very muggy, very stagnant air. And then luckily yesterday we got a nice rain for at least 20 minutes. So I know the plants were enjoying the nice rain yesterday. Before that, I know that the plants, they just look like they were just struggling, like struggling big time. You could tell that they really needed that nice rain. Even with me watering them on a consistent basis, they still looked like dry, and I don't know, I just can't describe it. They just look like they're just stressed. Because of that, I wanted to show what plants were still looking really good, even with the really bad summer condition. So the rain yesterday evening did throw a little loop into it. But regardless, I'm going to show you what were still looking good yesterday. So again, before we get into the shrubs, I wanted to give you a definition of what I mean by shrubs. So a shrub has woody parts. It tends to be shorter than most trees, and it has multiple stems. Like here you can see there are multiple stems. So that's what we are going by. And when I say that they are looking great, I mean the foliage is pretty much nice and clean and healthy. So we'll start with this one. So this is gardenia. This is the jubilation gardenia, and it's looking very good. It's been blooming really well. It's probably second or third round of blooms. So this is not the biggest one, but it's still looking very good. And then if we come over to this one, this is labeled as a banana shrub. It's part of the magnolia family. So any magnolia family plants that I have in the garden here, they're all doing fantastic. So with this banana shrub, it is doing so good. And when it does get more sunlight, the foliage will turn more yellow. So as you can see, there's some of the foliage is yellow. All right, let's move on. Next up is this shrub right here, which I have not talked about a lot. This is called Radiance Abelia, and it is looking so fantastic right now. This is one of the few plants here that I noticed, even with the crazy heat that we've been having, this is definitely a standout, and I highly recommend this one. It's variegated, it has blooms right now, and the blooms are supposed to be fragranted, but I'm not able to smell them, unfortunately. But this is a must-have. It's a low-growing shrub, and you can use it as a ground cover. So it is no more than maybe two or 2.5 feet high, and look at the width. It took off this year. This is his 3rd or 4th year in this garden, and I would say at least 3 feet wide. Definitely a must-have shrub if you are looking for a low-growing shrub that can act as a ground cover. All right, if we move on over, this is the native azalea. This is the Admiral Semi's native azalea. I recommend this. The foliage, the leaves will turn to bright orange, reddish in the fall. So this plant will give you fall interest as well. In the spring, it will give you that yellowish, orange looking blooms, and they are very fragranted. They smell like honeysuckles. So anyway, that's a good plant to have as well. And I have to say that these plants that we're going over today, they can serve as winter interest as well if the temperatures do not get below 20 degrees Fahrenheit on consecutive days and repetitively. So that's a good thing about these plants. They will give you 4 seasons of interest if they do well in the winter, which means that the winter temperatures are not as harsh. The next one up is this Rose Creek Abelia, and it is beautiful, full of blooms. Pollinators such as different kinds of bees enjoy that plant a lot. It's fast growing as well. All right, let's go this way. All right, if we come this way, this is another Jubilation gardenia. This is the biggest one in this garden. Beautiful plant, very fragmented. The only negative thing I would say about this plant is the fact that this year I noticed that the spent blooms are not falling off in a timely manner. They seem to be staying on longer. The only thing I could think of is the weather this year. It's been hot, or it's just kind of erratic weather. So the blooms, I think, are having to die back a lot sooner, and they kind of don't want to, and for whatever reason, I don't know the mechanism behind it, but they seem to stay on longer onto the plants this year than last year. Last year they would fall off a lot more easily. So this year they're kind of like they're more stuck like glue onto the plant. All right, let's move this way. All right, if we come this way, you'll see those 2 yellow plants, or chartreuse plants, and they are sunshine ligustrums. When I started gardening, I just love yellow, so I bought so many of this plant. So I have the most of this plant. And with this plant, the more sunshine that it gets, the more yellow that it becomes. So it's a great plant to have. So just with some leaf burnt right there, overall, because when you're looking from far away, you really can't tell because of the bright color. It just looks so spectacular from far away, so you don't even notice any blemishes, like minor blemishes. So that's what I like about this plant. I would say that if you want to use this plant, just make sure that you don't use too many of them because they could look very overwhelming with all the yellows. But if you like it and you want to have like such an impact like I do, I have an area where I just have a lot of yellow plants, then I would say go for it because it does create a lot of nice drama with just a lot of yellow. Like I have here, so you have yellow there, yellow here, yellow here. So it does give it a nice feature. See that? So you can create different kinds of patterns for yourself. All right, let's move this way. These are another species of gardenia. It produces single bloom gardenias, and you can see that it serves as a nice evergreen hedge over here. Even when I don't have blooms, you can see that they still are so beautiful, so lush, so green. They are very tough plants. So another great option. And if we come farther back, this is, I'm going to consider this a shrub because it has a woody part down there, multi-stems, and it's definitely shorter than a tree. So this is Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. Beautiful plant, will give you winter interest too. So in the winter, it might not look as good. You'll see more red, but it will definitely be a standout in a garden, especially when you have the perennials like those die back. Let's move over to here. And this is a Laura petalum. Unfortunately, I do not know the species of this. I believe it may be dwarf daydream Laura petalum. I am not sure. I think I may have lost a tag or did not come with a tag, but I believe this was a clearance plant. So anyway, I apologize, but it is a beautiful plant. Will give you 4 seasons of interest. Sadly, this is a plant that I don't pay attention to that often, but I will notice when I see the red tips you know, coming through. So I'm definitely going to be paying more attention to this plant going forward, especially now because it's gotten so big. This is actually the 3rd or 4th time that I have moved this plant. So hopefully this is its forever home so I can just watch it grow. And believe it or not, it started off with like a little branch like this. It is looking beautiful. It is at least, what, 3 feet wide this way and maybe 2 feet high. All right, next up, we didn't have to move that far. This is the Chinese snowball viburnum. So this shrub will bloom both in the spring and in the fall. So you can see I already have some blooms and I have more buds that are due to be opening up. So the blooms, if you are not aware, they look like hydrangea blooms. I am so glad it's looking so good. So after these blooms are spent, I will come here and prune, shape it up a little bit nicer and see if it will look more like a small tree like I want it to look. So as you can see, these are the plants that do really well in my zone 8A here with clay soil, with humidity, with heat, direct sunlight, also, you know, like periods of rain and then periods of drought, at least this year. So if you live in the same growing condition as me, the same environment, you should be able to grow these plants and they should do really well for you. And then also, if you are in the same growing zone as me and also the same growing environment, and if you have any plants that I have not shown here that you would like to share, I would really appreciate it if you could comment in the comment section down below. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable and helpful. And until my next video, take care and bye for now.
It's me, the Mario. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any more content.